My wedding dress had a hidden pocket. What I found inside destroyed me. I always joked that I didn't care if my wedding dress had lace, glitter, or even a long train. The only thing I truly wanted was pockets. Sounds silly, right? But having somewhere to tuck my hands in all that chaos felt grounding, like I could hold on to myself in the middle of a whirlwind. When I found the dress, it felt like destiny. Ivory satin, flowing sleeves, and yes, pockets. The moment I slipped it on, I broke down in the dressing room. Not because I looked stunning, but because I finally saw it. The aisle, the vows, the beginning of everything I had fought to believe in. My fiancé, Callum, used to laugh that he couldn't care less about wedding details. Yet, the way he looked at me always made me feel like I was his whole world. We'd been together for 5 years. I'd moved halfway across the country for him. I stood by his side when his dad passed, when he spiraled into depression, and when he finally pulled himself out of it. When he proposed, he hid the ring inside my favorite poetry book, the one we used to read together during late night talks. Sure, I was annoyed he'd cut the pages to fit the ring inside, but he'd promised he'd buy me a fresh copy, and somehow, that made it perfect. The morning of our wedding, my tailor dropped off a freshly steamed gown. My bridesmaids had stepped out to grab coffee, so I was alone in the bridal suite when I carefully unzipped the garment bag, hands trembling like I was holding my future. I laid the dress on the bed and smoothed it gently. Instinctively, I slipped my fingers into the pockets. That's when I felt it. Something stiff. Folded paper? Maybe a sweet note from Callum? My heart fluttered, thinking this was another surprise, another hidden love letter moment. But what I pulled out was a sonogram. I stared at the grainy black and white image, confused at first. Then my eyes dropped to the message scribbled on the back in messy, hurried handwriting. I'm sorry. I thought you deserved to know. He doesn't even know I'm keeping it. No name, no date, no explanation. I couldn't breathe. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just froze. My heart was thudding so loudly I could barely think. I thought of every late night he blamed on traffic, every weekend business trip I never questioned, every time he said he wasn't ready for kids, and how I just smiled through the sting. I sat on the hotel bed, holding the photo like it might burn through my fingers. I read the note over and over, hoping, desperately, that I was misinterpreting, but the words didn't change. I stood up. I zipped the dress back into its bag, and carefully, like tucking away a ghost, I placed the sonogram back inside the pocket, folded within layers of silk and shattered promises. I walked out wearing the same cream-colored flats I'd bought for the dance floor. I didn't need the heels anymore. A few hours later, Callum texted, "Where are you?" I just replied, "Check the pocket in my wedding dress." He didn't message back right away, but when he finally did, his response was filled with desperation. "Please, just talk to me. Let me explain." But you know what he didn't say? He didn't deny it, and I never replied.